We're on the final part of Turnabout Reminiscence. Let's go. Or not. Okay, there it goes. District Court. 6:15 p.m. Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for is already... It? Okay. Don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. It means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer. Any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. What? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you think? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? Hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape. Lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have. Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion and this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, gotta have the figure. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal. There's always time for a cocktail. In the trial, there's always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of the court. In this case, don't you think? How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll put it on and give you a proper testimony. My logic is correct. I've already won. All I have to do now is showing you the real killer. Everyone understands the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, areas around the crime scene have all thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirm that there is no possible escape route. Why is she laughing? This bitch is crazy. But Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Why is she laughing through that? Oh, making me laugh. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course. No need to confront her logic head on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has. End it while you can, you masochist.
Hold it!
Suspect? But I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Are you joking, Mr. Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier, but the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? The problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since it's enacted. Which means that I should focus on, said that earlier, so... She's
Hold it!
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. The scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, if you believe that it hasn't been exhausted, crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. Because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? The first place everyone looked, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything. Courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Routes of escape? Routes of escape? The of escape is throwing me off. Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Can't do a fake laugh, I really cannot. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. This bitch is unhinged. She's unhinged. Not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. understand now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains. I should inquire into a little. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspects. However, I don't recall either Francisca or myself speaking with you about the subject. But there were witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. See? As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door of the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, and so I am the daughter of Manfred von Carmine. I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or bailiff or anyone else. Wait, so maybe the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be replaced with prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibi before Detective Gumshoe was assigned on guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiots you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into the lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1. The only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. I can just feel her being like the only person. Oh. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? If we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you went off? What? That gunshot entrapment. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edward. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how it could have been fabricated?
Take that!
I'm assuming. That tape? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell, the prosecutor presented to today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. They should have animated a number 2 for him there. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. But I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than anyone heard the gunshot. Girl, please don't poke your eye out. It's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Garrett's evidence. Turned the television volume all the way up and left the video to play. Played from the beginning, it will take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come. Since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection!
Sounds from a television. Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. Sounds don't? that should have been known. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We knew about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Oh. That's right. And if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day. And that's it. End of story. But it's not. There is actually one common point. Lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioning, a window was open in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, the window in lobby number 1 was also open.
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence that they were both open.
Objection!
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Where's the window? There's a certain person did something to cause the window to be open. Look at that action. That person is the real killer in this double murder is...
Take that! Take that!
Miss Callisto, I hereby formally indict you for the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Bell. What? Indict me? Oh, we got a crack. Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Ha 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 ha. Of course I do, Edward. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was open. However, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours. Ooh. Ooh, she. It really starts. Guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. Put the patented Von Karma perfect proof for what? Actually, I do. Bitch.
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Edward, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. Not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know. This isn't mine. That's right, it's mine. And I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. You were the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. Now you're super easy to rile up. And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, Big Show stole some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bat. Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, you naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come now, I've already told you that it's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open. Huh? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shots. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. It's you. You were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. And you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could have only been thought up by you, Miss Yu. You accuse me of a murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Care to testify as to why? Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap this absurd case up once and for all. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife came from. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape. Lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her. Have been moi.
Hold it!
That's right, she will never escape. If she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. What are you doing? I'm trying to keep out of her, that's all. Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. No, I suppose it's because the evidence was something that Faraday had yet to use. Ah, so that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured it out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's bag evidence. Wow, there was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key that Utaga safe had. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. I never intended to do such a thing. misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony. Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key.
Objection!
Miss you. I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the autocracy sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has a secret ability to transform a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the autocracy's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the autocracy's key alone, it's more than what killed Mr. Faraday. You understand now? Just knowing it.
Objection!
I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know. You would, even now, still feign ignorance? I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence, can we now? Oh, now can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? Dare sully the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow. I knew there was such a trick to this thing. Are you satisfied now? Of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the autocracy's key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, something that the autocracy sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually...
Objection!
What you are saying is simply not possible. Oh? And why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. Further in these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure why he would have written everything in his organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? I just realized that the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. That's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss you, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will. And I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. Our truth. Secret behind the Tigers. One person acknowledges it. Get go. Start the attack. Chain. Knife. Press it.
Take that!
There's only one person who could have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Itagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Itagarasu herself. The lawyer is the great thief Itagarasu. Miss you. You used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, did you not? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? Oh, is she losing? Oh, there she goes. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill, even greater than when I sneak into some place. You killed Faraday. Why? Answer me, Callisto you. Callisto you. Huh. That's not my real name. My real identity is, yes, the great thief Itagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday, undifficult. Well, you see, he had discovered my true identity, so I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rell an offer, an acquittal for a little favor. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being Tara's partner. Once we entered the recess, Rell was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rell caves two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was ruined with Faraday held him onto Rell anyway. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. Didn't you say that you despised criminals? But do I really? You. Have you forgotten about the KG-8 incident too? So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rell wasn't the Itagarasu's by using Mr. Itagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. That's why I thought to use the knife. The weapon is well disguised as this. No one would be surprised. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. In order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He let me hold the Itagarasu's key just like that. Never noticed that I changed to a knife inside that plastic bag. You didn't have the chance chance to take note of the knife that took him. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. If you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rell as well. I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. And how that led to the killer not setting them up as though they killed each other. And the trick with the surveillance tape? Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the surveillance. Why I had Rell help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member, Deed Man. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Man? I had Died Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling raid. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can't be. You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling. Whoa. How could this... You don't mean you're working with Manny Cochin too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. Noble, you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. Utagarusu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Utagarusu, you cannot run from the law. You'll never escape it. Oh, you can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. I just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know Utagarusu has 3 legs? Oh, the Utagarusu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Utagarusu has more than one razor way sharp to do her work. You are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Utagarusu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. I mean, he was your real target? Even after I gave you didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? You may regret what comes of your negligence. You two, get down! Hey, mister, to your right! You! You alright, Franziska? Perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unarmed. That's a gunshot. I'll say that is not where this episode's ending. Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. Hey, Scott. Jacket. Light shade. More importantly, boy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Von Carlo. Are you two hurt? Absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Hey, where is she? I don't know. I'll go look at her. Oh, and Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? Detective Bad, sir. I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened. Hey. Lying and giving testimony is still. But, in this case, you were protecting Kay and her family. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops. Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere of one snark. I should get back to you, I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad. Take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with testimony, Detective. That was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so it didn't help anything. Not really your fault, Honor. Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have His Honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah. I believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard and give all that you have and perform your duties well. Duties. Oh, and one more thing. Hey, left a present for you with me. She did? Ooh, what is it?
Take that!
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the hearts of the detective. He's so happy it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Whoop! That was good, pal. I can't believe I got to chew these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I gotta thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? Only noticed just now? Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left you a search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join her. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stand right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgewood, sir. Boyfriends! Think about it. We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report to Paul. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now. Roger, sir. Don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting. Sense of trouble is definitely here. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the suffering it caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, now... So, do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Hey, it's been a while. Hey, you sure grew up a lot. Of course! Thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Yummy, I didn't know you cared. My father died. I went to live with my mother's relatives. He lived really far away, so I wasn't able to come back here. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright. So, does it all make sense now? Betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and...
Hold it!
Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu is Callisto you, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. But Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelves, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. I was written in his diary. That's how I know for sure. That's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible. Alright then, how do you explain this? A way of disarming the security system of the universe choosing. Yup, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow. Great prosecutor, he was a really great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you? Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card? Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto U lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. like Cardinal with anything to be publicized. Took it back 7 years ago, well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out so that I could obtain the truth behind the autocracy. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. You're saying that I have your father's and Mrs. Yu's identities backwards? Yes. Because the real autocracy was noble to him. And I want to revive the real noble. I want to revive the real noble autocracy. I don't. Father will never be able to rest in peace. Hey. Hey, you're so wrong. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Thief is a thief. You are plotting to commit a crime. I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth? You're not making it easy. Who am I supposed to support now? Mr. Edgeworth. What I want from you, not to steal something. What I want is the rest of that evil woman. Most of you, I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Think of it. I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? Since you made her escape, it was saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I have not seen you to the favors unrepaid. Then you mean? Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful moment. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Isn't that great, Kay? Yeah, it sure is, Kenny. Really proud of her. God, I just saw how long the next... The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Burn Faraday, Callisto you, and Hey Faraday. Phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief. And the Yatagasu's real goal. All come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. Hey. The end. The end. Save this. That was a lot. The next one is very long. I'm looking at it. Depending on how long the parts are, it's gonna be... The way I've been doing this is I've been doing it like up until it says to be continued. And it looks like this next one is 7 parts. We're gonna... We'll save it. But I will do that. Then I kind of want to sneak ahead to the second game and see how long that... See how long that this game... Oh my god, one of them is 9 parts. Alright, well, anyway. That is gonna be all for today. I don't think I'll have time to play this tomorrow. If I do, I might do part of it. But stay tuned and I will definitely be... I want to get the... before I start the next game. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. See you later.